The National Football League is denying that it pressured ESPN to stop working with Frontline on a documentary that will seemingly portray the NFL as having been negligent in addressing the damage caused by head injuries sustained by its players. So this is kind of a big deal because Frontline is a PBS show, and they've been working on this for months and months and months. And there were even quotes saying, the NFL was covering this up, and they're way more. This goes on way more, and is more prevalent than we even realized. And NFL would like to shut that down.
So now they say, of course, that's not the case,
right?
Right? Oh, we didn't pressure them at all. In fact, let me give you two sets of quotes here that I love. Now, back when ESPN was doing the documentary with Frontline and they were psyched about it, they even went to the Television Critics Association here in LA about a month ago or so, and this is what they said. It was Vince Dore, who's the ESPN Senior Vice President. So we made a conscious decision when we were presented with this opportunity to literally get in bed with Frontline. I don't think he's using literally wrong.
It was 11.
We've had other nonprofits, universities that have asked us to partner with them. We've never done a partnership, and from the Frontline standpoint, I think this is only the second time domestically that they've done a partnership with a broadcast partner. So we respect Frontline greatly, they respect us, and the NFL is going to have to understand that. Except for the fact that they did not understand. And they had the top 2 NFL executives get together with the top 2 ESPN executives in New York, and then magically after the dinner, they decided that ESPN would not be cooperating with Frontline and they would be pulling back. Now, there's a couple of ESPN reporters already on there. They're going to be on there. They were blindsided by it a little bit, etc. But I love this. Greg Aiello, spokesperson for the NFL, says, "At no time did we formally or informally ask them to divorce themselves from the project. We know the movie was happening and the book was happening, and we respond to them as best as we can. We deny that we pressured them." Jimmy, you got to understand something. That was a dinner just to say, like, hey, how you doing, guys? Haven't talked to you in a while. What? You guys are doing a documentary? We don't give a shit about that. No, go for it.
I think the guys from the NFL think that we all have head injuries if we're going to buy that bullshit.
So this is a big problem, guys, that the media getting pressured to and look, ESPN has $1 billion contract with the NFL, right? Now they pay the NFL $1 billion, but ironically, NFL holds the cards because they're like, oh, I can give it to somebody else, and ESPN makes a ton of money from them, etc. And I don't know how much the NFL has hidden these head trauma issues. I don't know that, and I'm looking forward to seeing the documentary and what other information there is out there. But it makes them look guilty when they go to ESPN and say, hey, you got to reel this thing back in. Don't you think?
I think so, but I think it's the onus really on NFL because we understand where their conflict lies, right? If they have been shady in regards to full disclosure about the nature of these injuries and how far it can go, we clearly see their incentive to keep that under wraps. But this is kind of on ESPN, right? Kind of like the last hour, we're talking about who has the balls. Isn't this kind of on ESPN to step up and say, hey, we're going to put our, journalistic principles in front of this $1 billion contract? And to me, they're the one dropping the buck on that.
Yeah, so that's interesting and obviously true. Yeah. But so here's how ESPN executives see it.
Right.
They see it as Monday Night Football is on ESPN, and it is literally the highest rated show in cable. I don't have the piece of paper in front of me, but I read an amazing stat about how, top 15 out of the top 20 cable shows for the whole year are Monday Night Football on ESPN, 15 out of the 20 or so. Yeah. Now, that sounds too high to me, but that's roughly what I recollect, right? So obviously, then they get to charge more per subscriber, let alone the advertising, because they get like $4 a subscriber, I think, in that ballpark. If they lose the NFL, that is a giant amount of money that they would be losing in prestige, etc. But you took on the project because you thought it was going to help your brand and your credibility. Then I'm with Eboni. You got to stick with it. Yeah. This doesn't look good for anybody.
Well, and anytime anyone uses the word deny, aren't they just automatically guilty? Like, we deny it.
Well, no, Gina.
I deny that, Gina. I deny it.
Isn't that just inherently what the word sounds like? We deny that it happened. All right, you sound guilty to me.
And I think they're playing a little semantics here, right? We deny that we pressured. We might have been suggestive in some other way. You know what I'm saying? But
that's the lawyer.
She speaks the language.
She speaks the lingo. But so we'll see. Looks shady.
No, Cenk, what is your gut? You said I don't have any information about if they covered it up and they weren't fully disclosing the head injuries. What's your gut reaction to that? Do you think they were covering up? Because I think it's almost without a doubt they've been covering this stuff up.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's without a doubt. That's the interesting part. So I'm 2 out of 3 on the things that you said. So first of all, do they at this point know that this is a massive issue and that yes, all these years people have been getting brain trauma and it's led to their early demise? If they claim they don't know that at this point, they're totally full of crap. That's obvious, and that's why I say at this point, even though I love the sport to death, I don't think I'm going to let my son play it because I'm so worried about the brain trauma, right?
Yeah.
But that's what scares the hell out of the NFL, that people are going to start to think like that, right? So now, number 2, for all the veterans who are now suing or in litigation with the NFL, guys, the NFL, you make billions, and this is a giant issue for you. Just pay out whatever,
But they've
give them
never-
3/4 of what they want, and you're still going to have gold pouring out of every fountain at NFL headquarters.
They've been like this for years and years, Cenk. They've been denying that their former players' compensation. I remember I saw a thing on 60 Minutes a few years ago about even Conrad Dobler. You remember him? His knees are totally shot. They won't give him any compensation, and they're saying that he could do office, he could do desk work. He can't walk. You see his knees. You can't even walk. He could do desk work. So they're not taking care of him. And I don't know if you remember. That's when Mike Ditka came out and a couple other people.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
they made statements that saying the NFL should take. And they're not. They don't give a shit.
But gentlemen, and you too, Gina, isn't there a little bit of an assumption of the risk when you're talking about this type of game?
Thank you.
I mean, not to take all the onus off the NFL, because I do think there should be support in some ways. But come on now, nobody walks on that field for $5 a
They're
game
making
either.
cupcakes.
Yeah.
Like, they don't all come out with their little easy bake oven and have a tea party.
Yeah, they're not
They know
making
the
$10 an
risk.
hour.
I'm split on that too. So here's why. Look, it's like the Huffington Post. Like you wrote for it. Now people are asking for money for it. But wait, but you knew that you weren't getting any money for it.
Yeah.
And back then, that was a great job that they had. They weren't getting anywhere near the money that these guys are making now. But hey, they were like, oh my God, I get to play football for a living. I love this. I remember they talked to a guy who's has back issues, can barely walk. And he's like, man, I loved hitting those guys. Okay, now, so I'm with you on that. But the flip side to that is, yes, NFL, you're right on that. They assume the risk, et cetera. But these guys delivered for you, man. They built you a multi-billion-dollar franchise. It's okay. Do the decent thing. Even if legally you don't have to.
I got you.
Go back and give them a little bit and make them whole as best as you can. Now, Jimmy, to your ultimate question as to whether the NFL knew decades ago that this was causing brain trauma, that I don't know.
Okay.
Did they have the research papers and then they
Okay.
buried them? I don't know. I just literally don't know.
Okay, but I will bet that if any research papers did come out, they suppressed them. Right?
Well, it's a fair assumption given what every other facet of government, sports, media, you name it, has done historically. But we don't know
I'm
for the
sure they
NFL.
didn't go, oh, wait, there's a report out there that will undermine our complete business model. Let me publicize it.